Hi, today from Monaco, from Monte Carlo. Today I will interview for you the self-made billionaire Chen Jiancheng. Chen Jiancheng is a Chinese entrepreneur, the founder of Wolong Group, Wolong Electric, and he became the Entrepreneur of the Year in China, meaning the best entrepreneur in China. His company manufactures electric motors for vehicles, for industry, and its revenue is $5.4 billion. This is a huge company and very innovative company. This is a world player, a global company, and Chen Jiancheng is naturally a billionaire. And today I will interview for you Chen Jiancheng. Please welcome with me the one and only Chen Jiancheng from China.
Chen Jiancheng is a driving force behind China's growth in the electric motor industry. His Wolong Holding Group cleverly combines the best of European technology with the best of Chinese manufacturing. Congratulations, Chen, EY Entrepreneur of the Year for China.
Hi, today from Monaco, from the World Entrepreneur of the Year 2019 award ceremony. We are choosing today the World Entrepreneur of the Year. Mr. Chen Jiancheng here is the country winner for China. He is the founder of Wolong Motors, a huge company with over 50 subsidiaries from what I know, $5.4 billion in revenue, and active actually globally. You manufacture, Mr. Chen, motors for industry, but also for cars. Who are your greatest customers, and how many motors do you manufacture a year?
他说我们最大的客户是什么？我们一年大概生产多少台电机？
我们最大的客户，主要石油化工、天然气可能是最大的客户，全世界的石油公司、天然气公司可能最大的客户。第二个可能家用电器空调、冰箱、洗衣机，可能我们全世界的一些空调、冰箱、洗衣机可能都是最大的客户。那么最大的客户大概一年做1亿欧元左右。最大的客户1亿欧元左右。那么涡龙电机呢，大概收入一年生产大概上亿的电机。
So, our biggest industry was still at this moment oil and gas industry, upstream, the midstream, and downstream, and followed by the oil and gas. Then we will have HVAC industries, including the air conditioning. But also the other, the home appliance like the washing machine, refrigerator, compressor. The biggest customer, maybe we talk about, maybe I cannot disclose the name, but the biggest customer we're having every year is around above 100 million euro sales revenue. So on the quantity, we produce different size of the motor, for the small size to the big size. So it's based on quantity difficult. But at least I think we produce every year so more than 100 to 200 million pieces of motor every year.
未来可能是新能源汽车是最大的客户。
所以
德国有一家客户，我不说名字了是上百万台，是今年1月份在挪威推出的一个吉普车，这个电机是你们德国的。
So we are future also focused on the electronic vehicle industries. We think this will be moving very fast. Will become our very biggest, growth segment, and maybe potentially become our biggest customer. So recently we have, just got a big order from one of the German cars. We cannot disclose the name, but it was for SUV, pure electronic SUV. So just making that's the launch of the product in Norway also.
Mr. Chen, I am interested in business, but I am even more interested in you as a personality, because it takes a great personality, in my opinion, to build such a huge company, because you employ 10,000, maybe hundreds of thousands of people. And tell me, what do you think allowed you in your personality? What in you allowed you to build such a big company, to scale to such immense dimension?
他说他对于你生意的成功很感兴趣，但他更感兴趣是你个人，能不能解释一下是你个人的成功的一些秘诀？
个人靠努力，靠吃苦耐劳啊，靠智慧啊，靠脑子啊，靠持之以恒啊，持之以恒，靠经得住寂寞啊，经得住寂寞，耐得住那个诱惑啊。
So he think definitely working hard, diligence. This is the key. Of course, then you have to, be consistent, focus. You can be sustained. You can be, very strong, resistance, lonely, the temptation. This you'll be keep away from. To continuously focus on your aim. Of course, they also need to be smart in your mind. That's all the basic rules to be successful for him.
Okay. Would you tell me, Mr. Cheng, what were the main discoveries? You have been in business for tens of years. So, but what were your main discoveries in business? I don't mean here in industry, but in the way of doing business. What were the main takeaways for you? What have you learned throughout these days, throughout your career?
You mean the key for him to win the business?
No. I mean what he learned during his career.
So
maybe there are things, you start with business, you don't know everything.
Well, that means he's suggesting to the other people, right?
Exactly. So the lessons he had learned through the career that were maybe surprising for him, right? In the way of doing business, not necessarily in the industry itself, but in the way of doing business.
就说做了那么多生意这么多年，对你的启发、人生的感悟是什么？
人生的感悟，持之以恒啊！我认为把这个行业做深、做透、做大、做强。
He thinks that he's discovered that as long as you do one thing, you have to be more focused on this thing, continuous focus on this thing until it's become bigger. Focus on one thing, not really focus.
Okay, I understand. Thank you, Mr. Chen, for your wisdom. I wish you big success today. I wish you, that you win the competition and you will be the next World Entrepreneur of the Year from China, because there has been one before, right? Okay. Thank you so much. I hope you like this video. If yes, give me a thumb up. If not, of course, thumb down. Subscribe if you haven't. Don't forget to hit the bell button in order to get notifications about this video. I invite you to comments. What do you think about this entrepreneur, about the wisdom he has passed to us? What are your thoughts about that, your experiences, maybe your perspective? Share this video with your loved ones, with your friends, how the best entrepreneurs in our world think and act, how to do great, impossible things in business and life. And I talk a little bit about money, about economy. So if you like this video, you will certainly like my other videos. I invite you to watch them. That's it for today from Monaco. I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.